Yo, what is up, guys? We are back with the fifth episode of the Double Feature Podcast. I'm your boy 𝙋𝙧𝙚.
It's your boy KJ.
And you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, right down there, right below our cameras, which is our handles right there. Or you can follow the podcast, Double Feature, up there on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. But we're mostly active on Twitter right now with that. And if you guys ever want to send in questions for us to answer on the podcast, you can go ahead and visit that link that's placed right there. Ask any questions, and yes, we will 100% answer them. But we've got a lot to talk about. So like, comment, subscribe, and comment whatever you want to comment regarding these topics. But we're going to go ahead and get into topic number one, which is that the second trailer, or I believe it's a second teaser on the official Warner Brothers YouTube channel for Barbie has officially been released, and we are going.
It's a teaser? It's not like
it
an
is.
official trailer?
It's called Teaser Trailer 2. So maybe they got a bunch of marketing and stuff moving forward. But yeah, guys, that's what we're going to be talking about. I'm going to let you start this one. Give your quick thoughts, and then I'll give mine.
I mean, this is what we all wanted, right? This is what we all asked for. I mean, I'm here. I'm seated day one. The vibes of it are just so right, like from the production design to the way the comedy is written, it just feels so right. And the castings too. I'm not even the biggest Simu Liu fan, but he seems like a good cast. And you have people like Michael Cera in here, and it's just it looks like a really good time. I don't know to the extent of how good it's gonna be for kids, for the actual, Barbie users, for I'd say the age range between 5 to 12. I wonder how it's gonna fare, but I know in the teenage area and where I'm at right now, it looks pretty good. I like the cast. I like everything about it so far. And as far as the teaser trailer itself, it was a pretty good teaser trailer.
It was. As for myself, I thought, the comedy was on point. It was sharp, but also sometimes it dragged on for comedic effect, and I loved that. I think I'm very excited. I think Greta Gerwig's a huge talent. I think she's very talented as a director, and this unironically could be nominated for production design at the next Oscars. Yeah, the cast looks amazing. It just looks like a ton of fun. I just wonder what the story's gonna be like. Is it gonna be will it start with a kid playing with their dolls, and then we're imported into what the kid is the kid's plot? That would be cool. Or which is what it looks like in the trailers, will it be Barbie's coming into the real world, which is what the trailer looks like? I don't know. I'm really I'm thoroughly excited for it, though.
I don't know. It seemed to me Will Ferrell's character kind of looks like the owner, of
the Barbie land, or the toys.
No, the toys. The company owner, that sells the Barbie toys. I don't know, man.
I have no clue, but yeah, I love the cast. I think this is coming out on the same day as Oppenheimer too. The whiplash is crazy. That whiplash is crazy. But yeah, guys, I'm thoroughly excited for it. You place in the comments below how excited you guys are for the new Barbie movie, and what did you think about that new trailer that they dropped?
Is it cinema or not?
Is it cinema or not? But moving on to topic number 2, Blue Beetle had their first trailer released, and took the world by storm. But we're gonna be giving our thoughts. Do you want to go first or me? You want to give your thoughts on? Okay, as for me, I think I liked the trailer. I think there's a lot of people though that were apparently expecting this thing to be big budgeted, huge budgeted. I knew that it was supposed to go on streaming, then it got bumped up. So it's about what I expected visual wise. I just think it comes down to what type of story they're going to tell. and
Mm,
it seems very family heavy, and it seems like they're really leaning into Jaime Reyes' family instead of kind of doing a whole origin where you got to learn these things on your own. They're kind of going that
yeah.
Shazam route. But overall, as for the trailer, the music choice is overplayed. That song needs to be gone. But other than that, I think I'm very excited to see Sholo in this. Love him in Cobra Kai, and I think he's a perfect choice to play Jaime or Blue Beetle, and I'm excited at the possibilities. Is this in the DCU? Depending on how successful it'll be, will Ted Kord be in here? There's a bunch of things that are really exciting, but overall, my thoughts on the trailer are very positive. But what about you? What were your thoughts?
It looks like a generic superhero movie. I think it looks like a good time, like a fun superhero movie, but I don't think it's gonna break any boundaries or make anybody rush to the theater to go see it. I think some of the castings are pretty good. I think the kid from Cobra Kai as Jaime is like, I mean, that seems just like a really good casting. Um,
It is. He's got
I,
like
I
fighting experience,
personally,
teenage. Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of that George Lopez casting, but I could see the appeal. Obviously, it's George
Yeah.
Lopez. Um, the family dynamic, it looks like it's gonna be just like akin to something like Shazam. It's gonna be something really playful and something for like the families to go watch. As far as like the action scenes go and stuff like that in there, uh, they're all right. Like they look pretty cool. The suit just is fucking immaculate. I mean, the
It
Blue Beetle suit
is.
is it's one of the greatest comic book
It
movie
is.
suits
Look
I've,
at
I've,
that.
I've
Look at
seen,
that, guys.
especially in
Look at
recent
that.
time. It's
That is a
one of
shot
the
from
greatest.
the trailer, guys.
Um, but
Jeez.
but yeah, the action looked pretty cool. I guess it looked like a lot of like Iron Man esque action, like getting to
A little
know
bit.
the
There's some
basics
martial
and
arts in
fly
there
and
though.
like
That
yeah,
I
there's
like.
yeah. I mean, there's I think I was like the first one to say it on Twitter too. I was like, I love the Power Rangers energy because as soon as the trailer ended, the the final shot just gave me like the movement, like, it
Dude,
gave me such
whoever's under
Power
that
Rangers
suit doing
energy.
all that like choreography is so sick.
He was
He
like,
is.
and it was like speeding up, and he was like, this
Yeah.
big ass giant fucking guts from
Sword.
Berserk
Oh.
Blade just fucking kicks it up. He's like, it's so fucking Power Rangersy. So like, I wonder what that part of the movie is gonna look like. Like if they're gonna take that and go more into it. You know what I mean? If they're gonna
Yeah.
like go in, because if they go all in with stuff like that, I mean, you might be in for a better time than expected. But as
I
far as the whole trailer
wonder.
goes, um, it seemed like you get hyped for Blue Beetle, but I don't think this makes anybody really hype. I think it just gets. I think it just. I think it was basically just showing you what Blue Beetle is gonna look
That
like,
it
what the vibes are
exists.
gonna be, what the vibes are gonna be like. Yeah, basically, what
That
that
Blue
that it
Beetle is a
exists.
movie.
Yeah,
It does exist. Um
basically.
yeah, I'm very interested. Are they going to lean into the whole, not being able to control yourself in the suit sometimes?
Yeah.
Are they going like how they already showed like some of his transformation and it looks painful, which it should. And
hmm
I wonder just how much they're going to lean into those elements. But you guys tell us in the comments below your guys' thoughts on the new Blue Beetle trailer. How excited are you for it? Place in the comments below anything. But yeah, let us hear your thoughts. But now moving
Let us
on to
know
topic number
to the
4.
best
Now,
fucking
now we're in
trailer,
the
to the
reviews.
best fucking one.
Or
Mm,
no. Topic number. This is
shit is
topic 3.
peak.
This is topic 3. But yeah, it is another trailer review, and it's yeah. It's
It's
the one
peak.
everyone's waited for. It's that official trailer. I think they're calling it, or official trailer number 2. I don't know. It's the second trailer though for Across the Spider Verse. It released, and I mean, there was a lot in here. I'll let you go first, I guess, because yeah, there was a lot. Give us your thoughts though.
First off, I love that they're doing more with Miles' mom because I love Miles' mom, bro. Second off, the visual, like it's so crazy because like it's like you just don't think that it could get better than the first, but it's not like much different from the first, but it is. Like, it's so weird. Like
Yeah.
it's it's like they're doing it again. Like when the
Pushing the
first Across the
boundary
Spider,
even
like
more.
even though the first Into the Spider Verse was kind of like a big jump for animation, like it was like this is very
Huge.
different from
Huge.
any other animation. This one still is. It seems like it's taken that jump even from Into the Spider Verse, but it
Yeah.
still has that same core like animation to it. Like it's weird, but I love it. Like it looks so fucking peak. Oh, like the the wit is all there. I mean, we all know the wit is all there. All the comedy and stuff in the first movie it was delivered
It's
so well,
so
and the
good.
timing
It's
was
actually
so
really good.
good in all the comedy. And same goes for this trailer and stuff. You know, you got the whole him, having to be in Spanish class, stuff like that. It all looks really good. The characters, Oscar Isaacs, Spider-Man 2099, Miguel O'Hara, like it all just looks so good. The Spot even looks pretty cool. Like
He
it's got a
does.
very goofy like look to it, but I think I think we're gonna explore more into that. And yeah, just seeing like just seeing Parker back with
With
Mayday, of course.
Mayday? Oh my god.
I wonder what that dynamic. I wonder if there's I could already feel in my nipples, my fucking titties, like there's an arc there coming with Mayday, like in I just feel it tingling already. Um, but yeah, the trailer looks fire. I don't even gotta get into the action because like the action looks fire. You got Ben Riley in there,
Yeah.
like just looking
Scarlet
immaculate. Like
Spider.
the
Yeah, he
animation
looks.
just
Oh,
looks
he looks like ripped right out of the
fucking
comic.
amazing.
It's
Yeah, fucking
insane.
amazing. He looks absolutely amazing. So I wonder if we're gonna do something akin to the first Into the Spider Verse, where you bring in these different spider people and you actually like tell a story with them. It's not just like a quick cameo.
Like a
Like
cameo
if there's a
fest.
story behind Ben Riley, like that's something insane. Spider Woman looks dope. Everything looks fucking dope. Miles Morales is getting older. He's dropping his fucking nutsack on bitches. It just looks so fucking fire. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I mean, you heard it here. Miles Morales is indeed breaking news, dropping his nutsack on bitches. But
Yep.
as for my thoughts, pretty much the same. It visually, it's insane because now the first Into the Spider Verse, I believe, had a budget of like 90 million, and like while obviously this one's like almost twice that. It's
That's
I
crazy.
didn't think the jump in animation quality could be this much better. It's weird. Like I
Man.
didn't think it could look this much clearer, this much sharper. Like
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think so, but they're continue to breaking walls in the animation department, but I mean, it just looks like a ton of fun once again. They're clearly hiding a lot of things within this story though, which hide all you want. If you want to surprise me in the cinema, I'm there. Um, but yeah, I'm very interested in like how the Spot will play into all this, and where will Miguel O'Hara's character like end and start, because they're really trying to put him as like kind of the villain of the movie, but we know he's not gonna be. So my question is more like, when does he stop? Like, will that be early on? Will it be in the middle, or will it be at the very end? And the amount of I just want to know, like, are we gonna get some actual lines of dialogue from Spectacular Spider-Man? That's what I want to know. Are
Yeah.
we gonna, But the cameos are gonna be
I
there.
can't wait for this
Yes,
fucking
I
movie. You don't
can't.
understand. Seeing this trailer in IMAX made my dick rise, dog. Like it was
Oh
just the greatest shit ever.
yeah,
Hearing the "What's up, danger" in the fucking bro.
I wonder if that'll be in
Oh
this
my
movie
god, I
too,
can't
though. I
wait
wonder
for
if it'll
this shit,
be in the
bro.
actual movie. But
Can't wait for this shit. I'm watching this shit like 1,000 times in a fucking theater, bro.
yeah, this might be. I don't know. This Guardians and other movies, like we might. That movie definitely might be my most watched in the theater this year. But
Let's
yeah,
go,
guys,
man.
we
Let's fucking
thoroughly
go.
loved the Across the Spider Verse trailer. But you guys comment below. What you guys thought about it. How hype are you for it? How excited? What are you
You
looking
better be
forward
fucking
to?
hype. You
Any
better be.
theories? Anything? Go in the comments below and share us your thoughts. But moving on to topic number 4, we're finally into the movie reviews portion. We're reviewing 3 movies, but to start, uh, John Wick 4 released kind of recently, but my brother hasn't given his thoughts. I do have a review out, so if you do want to watch that, You can, but we're gonna go ahead and give our thoughts. I'm gonna let him go more into depth first, since I already have a review, and then I'll share my quick thoughts. But what were your thoughts on John Wick 4?
Peak fucking cinema, man. So far, it's the best movie of the year. If you don't think so, either one, you didn't watch John Wick 4, or two, you're just a fucking dumbass. It's definitely the best movie of the year. Um, the action set pieces are downright absurd and amazing. Now, don't get me wrong, I got Mission Impossible Fallout on 4K. I know it's some action. I watched Top Gun. I got Top Gun on 4K too. I know what some dope ass action set pieces look like, but that is different from something like John Wick. That is a more like a bigger scale. But when you take something like Gung Fu, something hand to hand, close and personal, close combat, and you make it big scale like a Fallout, or like, I mean, it does something different to you. I mean, and it looks like something different. These are uh, these are some of the best, if not, in my opinion, they are the best action sequences in any action movie. I think the only action movie that comes close in terms of these action sequences is Mad Max, and they are very close. It's not far or anything, but the action in here was, it was literally to die for. Like, I could watch this movie 1,000 times over. I'm definitely getting it on 4K. Keanu Reeves is a fucking badass. For him to be 60 years old and still doing these stunts is absolutely absurd. It looks like he's like aging backwards. Like, he's getting better in every John Wick movie. Like, his movements and stuff are getting better in every John Wick movie. Like, it's absolutely it's absolutely absurd. You got Lawrence Fishburne in there. Lawrence Fishburne was fire. I wish he was used a bit more, because I just love Lawrence. I
I
just love this
love his
Lawrence Fishburne.
character.
And in
Yeah.
this franchise, he's just the most fucking
He steals
charismatic,
every
most
screen. Every
just
time he's on
dude,
screen, he like,
so
oh,
cool.
he is
Um,
great.
Rest in peace to Lance Reddick.
R.I.P. Rest in
Sorry about what happened
paradise.
to him, for real. Because every scene I loved him in John Wick 3. Of course, he was amazing in that movie. Every scene he was in here in John Wick 4, it was pretty good. As far as what they did with this character, I feel like it. I feel like I could see if some people had issues with that. I didn't see anybody have issues with it, but I could see
Yeah,
if
me
somebody had
neither.
an issue with that. I loved it. I love what it did to the rest of the story, and I felt like it it
Really
it,
raised the
it made you
stakes.
yeah, raise the stakes and really made you root just a bit more. As far as um who's the what's his name? Bill Skarsgård. Um, as far as Bill Skarsgård as the Marquis, he's my favorite villain of the franchise so far. He was amazing. I mean, the way he was able to play this very like spoiled role, like he was like this spoiled villain. He was very like a James Bond villain. He's just in control of like everything and just sends everybody to go do everything. And then of course, when he finally gets the chance to actually do something, he can't fucking do it. But yeah, I feel like he played the role so well. I feel like the movie did justice for his character writing wise and building him into that kind of character as well. Donnie Yen's character in this movie is so fucking sick, and it just makes me want like a entire series solely based around Kane. Like, I need like a 10 season, let this motherfucker do it till he's 80. I need like a 10 season series of Kane just beating ass. Like, and for this to be Rina Sawayama's first movie, she was Akira. She was in the first battle in the Osaka sequence. For this to be her first movie, I'm shocked. I don't know if she does MMA and shit or whatnot. I don't know if she just had a stunt double or whatnot, but she was really good in this movie. I would like to see some more of her as well. Marco Zaror was a cool add, especially seeing him and Scott Adkins in the movie. As you know, they were both in I think it was Undisputed 3. They were both in the movie. They fought each other, I think. That shit was cool as fuck, seeing both of them. Scott Adkins, seeing him in this I mean, there's just so many layers to this movie that are so see, having Scott Adkins being like this fat suit but still be able to move, like, that is something you can only see in like these kinds of franchise, like these martial arts films and like these wacky like John Wick films, like, and it works so well. It makes it this action movie like masterpiece. Like, it makes it this like it's like a love letter to like it feels like Hong Kong cinema in some areas. Like it's like a love letter to like and all action movies and like martial arts. Like it's like you got every stuntman, every martial artist in here and like just went out with a bang. I'm I could go into depth with the action sequences, like the whole over the dragon's breath sequence and stuff. I go into depth with that, but I would be sitting here talking for literal years. This movie is the best movie of the year. If you haven't watched it, don't go watch it at home because it's still in the theater. Watch it in the fucking theater and go watch it. Like, what are you doing? I'm gonna own this shit on 4K. If I had to give it a rating out of 100, I would give it like a 97. If I had to give it a rating out of 10, I would give it like a 9.3. Um, it's just, I mean, I could go on and on about this shit. Um, it's it's an action movie masterpiece, man. Masterclass by 𝙀𝙁𝙀𝙁, man. An absolute masterclass. I need to see him do more stuff as well. Like if he's done with John Wick or he's branching out, I can't wait to see what else he does.
True that. True that. Definitely cinema. As for my quick thoughts, I mean, you guys could obviously watch my review on the channel, but I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I think it's the best movie of the year so far. Still, it is genuinely, and if you guys have not seen this, don't worry. We haven't spoiled anything, and we won't. But if you guys have not seen this movie, it is genuinely one of the greatest action movies in history, in all of cinema. Some people might think, well, like if there's too much action, doesn't it get kind of exhausting? And I'm going to be honest, I felt that literally for a second at the beginning of the movie and it went away. Like,
And even when you
because.
feel that, you can't even be mad at it. Like you can't even
No,
be
you
like
can't. You can't.
you can't even be like because it's just more action. Like it's like yeah,
Right.
you're tired of it, but it's still action. Like it's
Definitely. I think it is on the lengthy side, and it is a long movie, but
hmm
there is so much action in here that it doesn't feel like there's like a bunch of stuff left on the cutting room floor. There's like a small amount of things I could think of that you can cut out because most of the runtime really is these huge set pieces that glue your
hmm
eyes to the screen. The cinematography is gorgeous in this movie. The music was great. But the third act of the film is where it really shines. It is by far like the minute it starts, the second I believe they released this clip already, so this isn't a spoiler. The second they John Wick meets with the main villain played by Bill Skarsgård for the first time, the first time they meet, that's pretty much where the third act begins. And
yeah.
from there it's like that scene is you at the top of the roller coaster, and after that is you completely falling the entire time. It is just nothing but momentum. The movie was
hmm
also like surprising, like it made me got laughs out of us and like our entire theater. A lot of times there were some new characters introduced, like he said, Akira Kane, and even the tracker character that I really appreciated. But yeah, if you guys haven't gone and seen John Wick 4, definitely go and get your ticket. Or, if you're going to wait for it to
Please.
come on streaming, you better watch it the second it drops. But, I mean, other than that, guys, if you guys have seen John Wick, give us your thoughts below in the comments. What did you think about it? And did it surpass your expectations? What did it do for you? Yeah, place your thoughts in the comments below. But moving on to the next topic, we just saw Air, and this is the movie about the famous basketball shoe, the Air Jordans. And
Yes.
you know, this was definitely on the radar the second the trailer dropped, and yeah, we got to see it. But I want you to give your thoughts on it first. You're the
You know what's
huge
funny? I
huge
could
fan,
imagine
so
like a group of homies that are like not even like movie fans. They're just
going to see this
sneakerheads.
movie,
Like they
yeah,
be at sneaker cons and shit, like at Cinecon or at Sneaker Con or whatever. Like they be like real trading shoes and shit. And they be like, bro, we need to go like as a group and go see Air together. Like I just imagine that shit. But
definitely,
so you want my thoughts on the movie?
yeah.
It was shit. No, it wasn't. It was peak. It's my second favorite film of the year. I just got done talking so highly of John Wick 4. Now it's time to dick right on this shit. this is another masterclass by Ben Affleck. Did we see it coming? Yes, it was. It was. Yes, we all saw it coming.
Yeah, I don't know
But
how this could have been bad,
yeah,
really.
yeah, we all
Yeah,
saw it coming.
I
As soon
don't.
as
It's
especially as soon as the first trailer came out, it looked peak, and then you went ahead and it was like, this tastes good. I want to throw some Viola Davis in there. I mean, at that point, you're cooking. You're cooking with a lot of grease there. Let's go down the list as far as the performances go. Matt Damon as Sonny was so good. I didn't know if he was gonna be like the main character. I really did not know.
me
It kind of
neither.
seemed like it. It kind of seemed like it from the trailers, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, him as the main character, it just works so well. You just become so enveloped with Sonny, and I'll get to his scenes later, but yeah, Matt Damon as Sonny was he was a standout performance for sure. Jason Bateman as Rob. Jason Bateman was he was kind of the comedic relief,
He
but
was a
at
little
some
bit.
but sometimes he buckled down, but he played his role so well. Like every time
He
he came
did.
on screen, you just smiled. It's like everything he
Jason,
says,
I just love him, man.
everything he
Hancock
says
vibes.
sounds so
Hancock vibes.
ironic. Everything he
He had
says
the
sounds so
Hancock
ironic.
vibes
He
going. Okay,
did.
he
I
did.
mean, he's an absolute masterclass when it comes to comedic timing, man. Like he's so good at this shit. Ben Affleck as Phil Knight was
Hilarious.
it was hilarious because the character is so interesting. Like you don't
Yeah,
get much
he
about
kind of
his
seems
character.
like a hippie a
Yeah,
little bit.
you don't get much about his character, but it's so interesting. He seems like a dickhead boss, but like a hippie and like a cool dude at the same. Like
He's like spiritual and
it's so
like,
realistic because this is exactly how fucking bosses and shit at work are. But it's so realistic. Like Ben Affleck played Phil Knight. Like I don't know if that's how Phil Knight was, but what he did in this movie, he played
yeah.
it
Every
so
time he
good.
was on screen, our theater was
Fucking Chris
laughing.
Messina as David Falk was so fucking funny. This dude had me. There was one
Yeah.
scene in specific where
Oh, yeah.
where I
I
could not
know what
stop
you're
laughing
talking
at
about.
with this. He's
You'll know
going
what
on
it
like a
is.
monologue. You'll know what it is when you see it, and it's some of the funniest shit. It's between him and Sonny, and they go back and forth, and it's the funniest shit ever. I loved his character in this movie. It was kind of like the comedic relief, but it wasn't just comedic relief for the sake of comedic relief. He like had a lot. He had something
Yeah,
to
he
do.
had a
He had a
pivotal
lot to do.
role.
Yeah, he had a pivotal role in the movie. And you got Viola Davis as Dolores. She was amazing. She was the standout in the movie, of course.
Yes.
I don't think this was ever gonna come as a surprise. When you put Viola Davis in your movie, you're putting her in your movie so that she can have a standout performance. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's just bound to happen. Um, she played the role so well. You fall in love with her character as soon as you see her. She just makes you smile. It's like the most heartwarming character that you'll ever see. Like it just makes you smile and feel so warm inside when you see her. It really does feel like she's like your mom. Um, they do a good job at hiding Jordan in these scenes, but at the same time, like letting you see him a little bit, letting you hear him a little bit. It's not
Yeah.
very, it's not as forced as some other movies do when they do stuff like that. It's not as forced. It feels very natural because more of the film is focused on the character like Dolores and other characters, so it doesn't feel really forced. But yes, Viola Davis was absolutely amazing in this movie. I adored her in this movie. Um, Chris Tucker in this movie was also really good. I mean, obviously he's Chris Tucker, so you're gonna get Chris Tucker. I mean, if you're putting Chris Tucker in your movie, you're putting him in your movie to have Chris Tucker.
To talk fast
Nobody
and
else.
be funny.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. That's what you're getting, and he did that. But there was like a little bit of zest to it. There was a little.
there was. He
There
had
was
a bit of soul in there, like a little
yeah, there was
soul
like a little
vibe in
kick
it.
to it. There's like a little soul in there. Like it was so cool to see him. Um, was the guy that played Peter the shoe designer guy?
Yeah,
Did
yeah,
he
yeah.
die? Was
I
it
don't. I don't.
it wasn't him that died? They said someone died during the movie. So rest in peace to him. I think it was him, but sorry if I'm wrong. But he was cool in this movie. Overall, the movie was a blast. It just had it's not one of those forced comedies. It's a very
natural.
It's just the writing is just so it's so well
It
done. I mean,
is. Yeah, this is the best
there are
written
literal
film of the
scenes
year
that I
so
would see
far.
with Matt Damon's character where they would have him just go off on this monologue and stuff, because obviously you're trying to chase after Michael Jordan. You got to know how to fucking, you got to have W Riz. Like you just got to fucking make these moves. And there's just moments where I just become absolutely enveloped with what this dude is saying. Like the writing just takes you away and just makes you
Yeah, Peter
just
was the one
I
that
mean, it
that
really,
passed right
it's
before
funny
this
when you
film's
have
release.
characters like Ben Affleck's character and what they talk about in their philosophies in this movie, and then like what the movie does with like this kind of writing and stuff. It's pretty wild. But yeah, overall, if I had to give the movie a score out of 100, it would be a 93%. If I had to give the score, I mean that's out of a percentage. If I had to give the score out of 10, it would be a 9.0. I love this movie. It's my second favorite film of the year. You should go watch it. You don't have to watch it in theaters really, but if it does come out, when it does come out on digital and whatnot, you should definitely check it out. It's a good movie. I think you're gonna want to watch it anyway. I think at some point it's gonna come across you that you're gonna watch it too. It's gonna be like one of those
Definitely.
movies that's gonna just slip in when if your 5-year-old that just turned 13 has never watched it, all of a sudden you catch him in his room watching Air. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you basically just took the words out of my mouth for the most part. I thought the entire casting here was phenomenal. Obviously, I think Viola Davis was the standout. But yeah, I just thought coming out of this movie, I did think, and someone asked me this today. They said, would you rewatch this movie? And like, if we're talking about like right now, would I don't think I would, because I got everything. I got
Yeah.
everything. It's
It's
not
not one
some
of those movies like nobody's
complex
gonna watch Good Will Hunting
story.
and like rewatch it right away.
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah,
not.
it's not some complex story that you gotta go watch again. It's there, everything. It's simple, but it's one of those stories that's inspiring. And I think what shines the most here isn't like the narrative of the film. I think it's pretty straightforward, but what shines is the script. I think the script is super sharp. It's super witty. The timing is perfect. There's even lines of dialogue that parallel like later in the movie from the beginning, or even in the same scene. It'll be like two lines given back to back that parallel each other. There was a lot of
I
that
think the
going.
script and the casting, like I think the actors and
Yeah.
actresses in this movie
Yeah.
were like they were on point. They all felt like it felt like the chemistry was just there with this whole group. Like
Yeah, I
all of the like
thought
I feel like a lot of it could have been improv, and I'm pretty sure a lot of it was.
the um the production, I admire the production design as well.
Oh yeah.
This took place in like the 80s, so you really got that 80s aesthetic going. You got like even like all
And
the little
it's
products, the bubble
not one
gum
of
and
those
stuff.
it's not one of those aesthetics that's like trying to be an 80s aesthetic and it's like in your face like
Face
80s
like
aesthetic.
Stranger
Like
Things and
it
stuff.
gets to
So
the
yeah.
point where it feels so natural that you don't even think about it at
Yeah.
some point. Like you don't
Yeah.
even think about it being in the 80s. Like I love what they did with that
From
as
the
well.
haircuts to the clothes to the product
Yeah.
placements, like of the food and stuff.
Oh,
This
the
movie
commercials
was,
and stuff.
yeah, this movie was definitely like, it went by fast, but man, you just really enjoyed your time. It's so crazy how like you're already number one, if you're going to see this movie, you're already invested into
Right.
the movie concept of the Air Jordan's creation. Like that's an
Right.
interesting concept in and of itself. So you're like glued to the screen, but what really hooks you in is the personality of these characters and the dynamic they have with each
Yeah.
other, and like how
It has
different
less
each
to do with
character is.
like Michael Jordan in that
Yes,
whole
and more to
aspect
do
and
with
more to do with
Nike.
like yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it
exactly.
really does. It really paints this picture of Nike that a lot of people probably did not know was at the time, especially, in competition with other companies. But yeah, if I had to rate this movie, I mean, I would, out of 10, I'd give it like a solid 8.9, maybe 9 flat. If I had to rate this out of 100, I would give this a 90% flat as well. Nothing like mind blowing, but definitely like, there's not many flaws in here. The cut, and I did think it got weaker around the final conclusion, but I just think these types of stories kind of wrap up in a similar way. I wasn't asking for anything huge, but like that's really my only criticism is just kind of the way they wrapped it up. But I mean, like even that's a minor nitpick. But yeah, we thoroughly loved it. But if you guys saw Air, go ahead and place your thoughts in the comments below. Or if you haven't, how excited are you for it? Did we make you even more excited? Will you go watch this movie? Let us know your thoughts. But moving on to our fifth topic, it is another movie review. Or our final topic, actually, it is another movie review. And it's the Super Mario Brothers movie. Super Mario Brothers movie just released in theaters worldwide. And yeah, we're about to give you our thoughts, but I guess we can talk about this one together. This was just a blast. Number one, let's get this out the way. The critics were fucking wrong. Okay,
they were so fucking wrong.
They were so
far off. Now, don't get me wrong. I even heard that there were some critics that were just straight up like just shitting on it because it's a kids movie. Like, I don't understand.
I saw some of the dumbest criticisms.
I don't understand what's going through your skull when you're coming into a movie about the Super Mario Bros. That's animated by the same people that did fucking Despicable Me and Minions. Like, I don't understand. Like, are you? Makes no sense to me. But yeah, the critics were so wrong, bro.
Yeah, there was even I'm not joking. I saw criticisms of things that are in Mario games. Like I saw criticisms of critics saying this movie was just running and jumping everywhere. Like okay, but yeah, the critics were wrong. And especially if you're a Super Mario fan, go see this, because one thing I'm going to say right off the bat, okay, your enjoyment of this movie depends on how much, or your knowledge, or just how much you are familiar with the video games. Because let me just tell you, there is a ton of references, and they kind of just give you things in your face without explaining them because they expect you to know it. And while that can be used as a criticism, and I wouldn't say that's not a valid one, I will say that I didn't mind it. I liked the little references and the Easter eggs.
I fucking loved them. They were genius.
Yeah, I thought, obviously, the criticism of this story being super paper thin and just stretched out across an hour and a half. Like, I can understand that. The narrative is extremely thin. But, I mean, if you're going into a Super Mario movie for the narrative, like, I'm confused whether or not you played Super Mario growing up. Like,
mate, man's wants this to be fucking Schindler's List.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, I'm sorry, like were we blowing on the cartridge and putting it in to expect some insane level writing story? No, we were there to fucking hit blocks, grab mushrooms, and go save Peach. But in this movie, obviously, they don't. But I liked it. I like the characters in here. I like I think we owe Chris Pratt an apology.
There was one character I didn't like in here, but he was still not too bad.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. But I think I can speak for everyone that liked this movie, saying Chris Pratt deserves an apology, because he's not even the worst voice actor in here. Number one, he's not. And actually, I think he did a pretty good job. He actually did pretty good. And they do acknowledge why the voice isn't that, let's go super Italian. They do acknowledge that stuff, and
it goes
honestly,
in and out. I think it goes in during certain scenes and out.
Yeah, it's just not as overly done.
You'll notice it. And definitely. I actually think that that's the original Mario's voice
that played. Yeah, he did have a cameo here. He was the guy playing Punch-Out.
I think he did those scenes though.
Some of the actual Mario voices.
I think he
that
did.
Could definitely be a possibility.
Wrong, but I think I think I heard from somewhere that he did do. But either way, I mean, Chris Pratt still did. When it was him talking, it was still fine.
Yeah, I thought the only voice that I thought was kind of jarring to me was
Fucking Cranky
partially
Kong.
Cranky Kong, Seth Rogen a little bit. I loved him, but it's clearly him. Like he didn't
Oh, it's
make a
clearly.
voice. Yeah,
But
he
I'm not
didn't.
gonna lie.
Yeah, they
When
even
he
throw his
did the
laugh.
laugh,
They
I
even
was
throw his
like,
laugh in
when he
here.
did the laugh, that is a spoiler. Fuck it. When he did the laugh, I was like, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong kind of fucks. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I thoroughly enjoyed him, but and then Anya Taylor Joy, I appreciate her, but I just thought like it really sounded a lot like her to the point where like
Yeah,
it
it
was
was kind
just
of
her speaking. It was
weird.
just she wasn't voice acting. It was just her
Yeah,
speaking. But I mean, the criticisms I have for this movie aren't huge. Because I
he
don't
has
know.
total as Pete.
Oh,
That was the best. That was the best
he was
voice
the
actor in the
best.
movie
He
next to
was,
Jack
yeah.
Black. That was the best voice
Him and
acting in the
Jack
movie.
Black are easily the standouts. Literally, and I'm not joking. Everything Toad says in this movie got a
So
laugh
good.
out of me or made me smile. Like every single line. There's also Luma Lee in here, and I'm not gonna spoil y'all.
Normally,
But
man.
every line Luma Lee says is the most dark, funny shit I've ever like. It's wait till you guys see this movie. But yeah. As far as the standouts, I'd say Keegan and Jack Black. Jack Black was amazing in here. I remember I even turned to my brother during the movie. I was like, "They're gonna make him sing. There's no way you get
There's just
Jack
no
Black
way.
and you don't make him sing." And it's
There's just no
public now,
way.
but yeah, he does, and it's actually pretty funny. This movie was surprisingly hilarious.
It
Like
was.
our theater
It was
was
funnier than Shazam. Way funnier.
okay. We didn't need a that didn't need a happen. That you didn't even need to bring Shazam.
I'm
I don't know.
sorry.
I
I'm
don't know what.
sorry. I'm sorry,
I don't know.
Shazam. I'm sorry.
I don't know. But yeah, the movie was funny. I do like how they kind of not explained, but acknowledged the power ups. They weren't like super
Yeah, they do it in
OP.
an
That's what I was
interesting way.
scared of. Is like I'm just gonna eat 30 mushrooms to get big. I'm gonna use a bunch of
Yeah, they made it like
fire
more part of
flowers.
the story
Yeah, it was definitely a lot
and more
more
important
a
to the
part of the
story.
story. And speaking of story, I want to say the biggest thing that was a positive from the narrative was the brotherhood between Mario and
Yeah, that
Luigi.
was where
Like
that
I
emotional
didn't
beat.
actually expect like as much of a Mario fan as I am, and I grew up on these games. Like I didn't actually expect to go in here and like feel any
Dude,
emotions. I didn't.
I was taken back. Like when the movie,
Yeah.
like 30 seconds into the movie, I'm like, whoa, has this like Nintendo nerd been like bubbling inside me and just like waiting to like be out and like risen? Like I just started like being like a Nintendo nerd. Like I was like, I mean, I knew at one point I was, but
But it
man,
got it out of
just
you.
brings it, man, it just brings it out of you. Like it's
It
weird. Like
really, it
you
really
go into the
does.
movie, you're like, yeah, I fuck with Super Mario. I'm going to go see Super Mario. But you're
But
not
then it
really
reminds you
thinking
how much you
about
love
right. You're
it.
not really thinking about the different things and the little Easter eggs and whatnot that are in the movie. You're not thinking about that because unless obviously you're a Super Mario fanatic. Just me personally, like I'm not really thinking that about like some of the Easter eggs that were in the movie. And then you watch the movie and it starts throwing them in your face, and you're like, let's fucking go. Like I forgot about this shit. You're like, dude, this is so cool. Like, and it gives you that nostalgia feel, that heartwarming feel.
Definitely. I thought yeah, that brotherhood was definitely the biggest part of the movie that I thought really was the core. If you don't I feel like if you don't connect to that, then you might not end up really liking this movie as much as like
Yeah.
us or a lot of other people. But if you're a Super Mario fan, like fanatic, I genuinely think there's not a reason to not like it. I genuinely think there's no reason to not like this movie. I think the only
Man.
criticism I have, like real criticism, is that Luigi and Mario have such a good dynamic, but they get split up early for a large part of the
Now I
movie,
could
and
see
that's
why
it.
some people have this criticism. Me personally, I kind of like that they went. Also, are we getting? Because you're getting spoiler territory.
No, that's
Um,
not a spoiler. That's
Okay,
literally in the
but also
trailers.
I like that because it gives you those two different dynamics. You get that
Definitely.
Luigi dynamic and like the whole Bowser dynamic and like that shit, and then you get like a whole different dynamic where like Mario is at, you know what I mean? Like
One thing I want to
I
bring up,
personally I kind of like that.
yeah, I think number one, Charlie Day as Luigi was. I'm just
So
gonna
Charlie
point this
Day.
out.
It was so
Yeah,
fucking
he
like
just
from a
sounded like
mile
Charlie
away, like
Day.
you could
He
spot him.
just
Like it's
sounded
like
like
that's
Charlie Day.
not even Luigi anymore. That's just Charlie Day in a Luigi
I mean, it
costume. Like
wasn't
that's not
bad, but like it was,
no.
it just sounded like Charlie Day. But one thing I want to acknowledge
Nobody
is,
phoned it in. Nobody phoned any of the.
I don't think so.
Nobody phoned
No,
any of
no,
it
I
in.
don't think so. I genuinely think most of the cast was like having a blast making
Yeah.
this movie, and they know how passionate the fans are. But one thing I want to acknowledge is this movie is made by Illumination, and in classic Illumination fashion, they put pop songs in this movie. But
Yeah.
let me clear up the space real quick. These aren't, and thank God they're not, they are not modern pop songs. They're not Lil Uzi, Taylor
Thank
Swift,
God.
Katy Perry. No, they're not these songs that they usually have in Despicable Me and in the Lorax
Gotta
and in
gotta
like
gotta throw some Pharrell
the
in there.
Grinch. Yeah, it's not that. It's actual, classic bangers. But when the actual score played, it
Those are the
shined,
best
man. Who
moments.
did it?
Those
Brian?
are
Was
the
it
best
Brian Tyler?
moments.
Was it Brian Tyler
Yeah,
that
I think so. Yeah.
he really really
Cooking.
did justice on the score. I thought,
Cooking.
I think if you're gonna talk about technicalities and what the biggest takeaways technically from this movie, I think it's two things mainly. It's the visuals and the score. I think both of those are the biggest technical takeaways from this
Yeah.
movie. I think it does a really good job with implementing those classic musical notes and like
I think the action
sound
sequences were
clips.
good too.
Yes, that as
Like
well.
the
Some of
way
the
they were
action
shot
was
too,
really
like it
well,
was pretty cool. Like some of the slow mo,
for
some of the
sure.
like framing. It was just really cool.
Definitely, I think I'm very excited to see like mostly where this goes. Like, are we
Me
gonna,
too.
if we get a Mario sequel, obviously we'd love to see Odyssey, we'd love to see Galaxy, we'd love to see a bunch of stuff. But like, even outside of Mario, will we expand the Nintendo verse? Like, will we lead up? Like, I do want a Super Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Movie. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I do
I
want that.
do.
I
Like I want to
do.
see a Seth Rogen Donkey Kong movie. Like I'm
Oh,
down for
a
that.
solo
Like
movie? Yeah, I want to see Mario and Kirby fight. Like, I want to see
I
that.
honestly could watch a Key Toad series. Like I could,
He's
man. Like
he's genuinely a
he's
pleasure
so
in this
good with the
movie.
voice,
He
man.
is.
I
He
didn't know
is.
he needs to I Keegan Michael Key, do some more voice acting, man. Do some more
Please,
voice acting. Do some more work.
please.
Get in that new Kung Fu Panda movie if you can. Slide in there. I don't know if you're in there or not, but hey, get in there.
But I will say now that I think about it, there is another criticism I think I have. This is something you brought up too, so I don't know if this is a criticism that you have too,
Mm-hmm.
but it was the fact that we were jumping like to a lot of places once we entered the Mario land. We were
Yeah.
jumping through a lot of places, and it felt like they're just in here. And like what I will say is like, of course, yes, does Rainbow Road exist in the Mario universe? Yes, but it kind of just feels like
Yeah, it's
you
not
can
like you
go to
travel
these
to a
places.
different like
Yeah,
area to
it
get
feels
to
like you can
Rainbow
go to
Road.
these
Like it
places
doesn't feel like
by
that.
accident. Like it feels
Yeah.
like you can slip, fall, and now you're on Rainbow Road. Like
I don't know if they did that on purpose to make it feel like oh, it's the
like a
next
world.
level, and that's kind of
I
literally
don't
how
know.
it feels. Like you reach the next level, and it's like a completely different fucking like, what the fuck is this? Why are there fucking Koopa
Yeah,
Troopas smacking my ass? Like I was just like jumping on Goombas. What the fuck? But like, yeah, I don't know if they meant, but it did. I did. I think I had that criticism when I came out the theater. I was like it didn't feel like there were different areas. It felt like they were like teleporting. It was
it
like
felt like they were in like a city.
or it felt like it was all they just decided to whatever areas we're gonna include in this movie, let's put it all on one island. It
Island.
wasn't
Yeah,
like their
yeah.
own worlds. Like it wasn't like their own areas. It was kind of so That was odd. I don't know.
That was. And you know, disclaimer, if you have not watched this movie yet, it moves at break speed.
It
Like,
the moment it, I mean, it literally opens up like it's like, hey, we're going now.
yeah.
So
And once they
buckle your
actually get
seatbelts because
sucked
we're
in,
not gonna
it's
leave you the fuck alone, little
crazy.
bitch.
Once they get sucked in, it is crazy how fast the movie starts moving.
Man.
It's
And I mean,
wild.
and they get sucked in. Is that what you? That's what you said, right?
Definitely.
They get sucked in pretty quickly.
Yes. Yes.
Like
I mean,
the suction
one,
happens pretty fast.
it does. It does. And that's going to lead me to another criticism I have for this movie is that and it sucks for me to say this because I'm a huge Mario fan. The world was kind of less interesting than the real world to me. Like, I kind of liked the real when they were in the real world a bit more, and like what they have to deal with in there, and the people that are, you know, they're getting bullied and they gotta prove
That
themselves and
dynamic was
stuff.
definitely interesting. I definitely wish they would have dove
Yeah.
more into that.
I don't think it was like insanely better, but I just thought like my enjoyment was really like my most enjoyment was when they were, you know, seeing
Yeah.
like Mario and Luigi's family. I don't think we ever have, not that I know of. Like, so like
No,
seeing that
I don't know.
was really
I mean, it might have
cool.
been in like the classic like '90s. I think
Maybe.
I think it was the '90s. The Super Show, the Super Mario Bros. Super Show or whatever it was called. I think
Oh, the
they
TV
might have.
show. I never
Yeah,
actually thought
they
about that
might have
actually.
been in that, but I don't remember, man. It was kind of cool
Yeah,
seeing
but
that
that's like
aspect
a
of it.
weak nitpick kind of criticism, but I mean, I want to end off on this positive. So go ahead and give your overall thoughts, your rating, your score on the movie, and then I'll proceed to give mine.
Okay. Overall, the movie had a lot more positives than negatives. It had a fair share, had a fair amount of good shit to offer you. I mean, Jack Black as Bowser is, I mean, it's peak casting right there.
Peach.
He does. I mean, wow, he does some pretty funny shit in this movie. I love them a lot in this movie. Chris Pratt, he silenced the haters. You feel me? He did his thing. I love the castings in this movie. The animation was glorious. It was so cool to look. It
Beautiful.
was just so beautiful to look at. Um, I would want to see more in the future. This did bang for me. I still think the critics were just fucking so wrong, but
So wrong.
I could see the criticisms. But I mean, for the most part, I don't know what you're expecting out of a
Yeah.
Mario movie.
If you're
There's not
walking
the
into this
thing is
movie with a notepad, yeah,
just
that's your
not much
problem.
substance there to begin with. It would be different if it was something like The Last of Us and being
Yeah.
adapted to complete shit. Like there's substance there. There's just not much there for Mario. So I think it's kind of in that the same spectrum as like Sonic, how it's getting poor reviews because critics expect like a banger story, but it's
Yeah.
just like, man, I'm here to see Sonic run fast as fuck. I'm here to see Mario go
Hit
get
some
Princess
bricks.
Peach, like, and hit some bricks for real. Um, but if I had to give this movie a score out of 100, I would give it an 89. Out of 10, I would give it a 9.
A9. All right. As for me, thoroughly enjoyed it. And when I mean thoroughly, I mean like I had a blast. This movie went from point A to point Z very fast, and even though that happened, you know, I laughed, I chuckled, I smiled, I kind of got choked up a little bit. You know, and our theater was so live. Our theater was so
Man,
hype,
can we talk
bro.
about this shit real quick? Can we talk about this shit real
Packed
quick,
to the
man?
brim too. Packed
Man,
to the brim.
before the movie started, I'm talking they getting
Oh
ready,
my
they showing all
gosh.
the
Yeah.
AMC. By the way, we didn't get Nicole Kidman this time. Weird.
Yeah, we did. He did it
We
during that. He did it
oh,
during that ad. He
why
did
would he
it.
do that? Why
Yeah.
would he do that? Okay, anyways, before the movie start, we're getting the Nicole Kidman ad out of fucking nowhere. Mind you, the theater's dead silent right now. We're about to witness it. Okay, theater's dead silent right now, out of nowhere. Oh shit! What's going on? I thought the movie started. I'm not even kidding. I thought
I
the
know.
movie was
I
like
told you. I
starting.
tapped your shoulder. I was like, do you not see him? I
I
was like,
thought
do you
no,
see him?
I didn't see shit. So when I heard that, I thought the movie was like starting. I thought like the credits. I thought like it was starting to slowly come in, like, or that was like a little credit sequence. Like I thought the movie was starting, but then out of nowhere, I see this motherfucker cosplaying as Mario jump up from like the
Yeah.
front row, and he's like, he jumps up and he just starts talking in like this Super Mario voice. He's like, "Hey, have fun to come watch the movie with me," and then the motherfucker does a backflip.
He does a backflip, and then he leaves, and he's like, "Wow!"
I'm like, not only was. Now I will say his performance was kind of on par with Chris Pratt. Not gonna lie. Was on par with Chris Pratt, but like that shit was so crazy. So when that happened, I mean, the energy.
It kind of set it set the vibe for the theater. I think it did help
because there was a fucking nerd sitting like 3 seats behind me, literally yelling out every fucking Easter egg and fucking like that shit was. All right, sorry if
I didn't mind it. He's passionate, man. I could never hate on
bro,
someone passionate.
I understand. You're a passionate fan, man. No hate, bro. But like, do you not hear how loud you are? Like, I'm just being real. Like I understand if you want to point out all the Easter eggs, but like, I know you hear how loud you are, my boy. Like, I know you hear it. But yeah, that shit was lit. So when that happened, I mean, I already knew what the energy was gonna be like, and the crowd that day, everybody was just hyped to see.
Yeah,
it
definitely
Mario,
set the energy. But yeah, I thought it was visually stunning. Music was on point. It's literally what I wanted from a Super Mario movie. Nothing more, nothing less. And I hope if we do get future installments, we do hit up the other kind of video games, the other Nintendo games, the other Super Mario games, and like dive more into the worlds. But I thoroughly enjoyed myself. If I had to give it a score out of 100, maybe like 84, and if I had to score it out of 10, I'd give it like an 8.1, or maybe an 8 flat, actually. Probably an 8 flat. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it.
Go see Super Mario Bros.
Go see it if you have.
I don't know how it was in 3D, but it is screening in 3D.
Is it
in 3D? If you fucks with 3D, yeah, I kind of want to experience. I kind of want to know what that would be like in 3D. But yeah, go see it in theaters right now, please.
Definitely. If you guys have seen it though, be sure to place your comments and let us know your thoughts. How excited were you going in? Did it meet your expectations? Anything in terms of the Super Mario Brothers movie? Yeah, let us know your thoughts below. But yeah, guys, that is going to do it. That's going to wrap up the 5th episode of the double feature podcast. For any of these topics, give us your comments. We love discussing with you guys down there. And remember, you guys can send in questions for us to answer, whether that's topics you want us to talk about or just just a simple question. You guys can send us those.
You could even send us stuff at our Twitters, man.
Yeah,
there, bro. You can send us stuff on our Twitter, man.
But send it to either us on Twitter or the link below down there, and we'll definitely bring them up in the next podcast, or whenever the podcast is coming after that question. But yeah, guys, other than that, guys, you guys can go ahead and follow the official Double Feature account on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. We're mostly active on Twitter, but you can follow right there. The handle is right there, but you can follow us on Twitter. Our handles are right below our names, or our faces, I should say. But yeah, guys, like, comment, subscribe, do all that. Click that bell. That way you're notified every time we upload these podcasts. But other than that, guys, it's your boy 𝙎𝙬.
It's your boy KJ.
We will see you guys in the next one.
Peace.